Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
This episode of Tap and Step is presented by Cover Zero Analytics, the leaders in next-level football data. Cover Zero delivers predictive matchup previews, classification-based grading, and customized analysis to football coaches who want more than the same old breakdown of tendencies. With Cover Zero, football coaches now have a tool that can measure all aspects of their team's performance. Cover Zero is built entirely around smarter data analysis, helping thousands of coaches find winning edges that don't always appear in film study. If you're a football coach looking for an extra advantage, Cover Zero invites you to join the hundreds of premier programs that have taken their scouting intel to the next level. Ready to see how the best teams win? Start with Cover Zero Analytics. Find out more at coverzeroanalytics.com. That's coverzeroanalytics.com.
Me gusta desayuno.
Tap and Step, your premium Texas high school football podcast from your friends at Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. I am the Tep Greg Tepper.
I'm a guy who likes breakfast. The Stepp, Matt Stepp.
Dang right. This is a breakfast podcast.
We are a pro breakfast
This
podcast.
welcome into Tep and Step, your premium high school football podcast. We talk about high school football. We've done it for like an inordinate amount of time. Can I tell you a real story?
Let's hear it.
My mother, our chief NFL correspondent, my mom,
Your sweet mother.
sainted
mother.
She called me on Friday, and she said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, like, I listened to your show you do with Stepp. It's the first time I've ever listened to it. It's really good."
Aw, that's sweet.
And I was like,
The first time?
"Thanks, Mom, for listening." And also, we've been doing this show for like 7 years.
Well, I mean, listen. Tep Mom was busy with her NFL prep. That takes up a lot of her time.
I guess. It was one of those like yay boo compliments.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't think my wife has ever listened to 1 second of Tep and Step.
I cannot, in good conscience, recommend it. The only person who is contractually
Has your wife listened to Tep and Step?
when we've said something funny and I've made her listen to that portion of it. One person contractually obligated to listen to all of it is our producer Vianney Moreno. Hello, Vianney Moreno.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great. She has to listen to all however many minutes of this. Your Week 7 preview edition of Tep and Step. We do thank you for being a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber or not. Maybe you're
Do we want to
watching
thank
for free
you?
on Friday.
I mean, yes, we will thank you for
thank you for the
hanging out on
views.
Free Friday.
Yeah, on a Free Friday. But like, what would it look like? What if we have a growth mindset?
Mm-hmm.
And what if we imagined what it would look like to be a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber and support this show at TexasFootball.com/subscribe?
And we're running a sale right now. If you want to be a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber,
Audible
25% off through Sunday. So you have until October 12th to subscribe. 25% off. Use the promo code OCT25. That's October 25 abbreviated.
Oh.
25 just in time for the playoffs. Playoff projections. You can watch these big district games on Texan Live.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll mail you we'll mail you Texas. You're working on Texas Football Rising right now.
That's why I look tired.
And we'll mail you the summer magazine.
Yeah.
What a better deal. You get 25% off.
TexasFootball.com/subscribe. We have got a lot to talk about on this episode of Tap and Step.
Yeah.
We're going to go through what happened in Week 6, which was, I would say it lived up to the hype. A lot of we talked about the creme brulee, that top layer of caramel.
Yeah.
It was excellent dessert.
Very strong.
It was.
And then we've got our Week 7 game draft if you hang around with us. But first, Matthew, we will start, as we always do, with your Texas high school football fun fact of the week, presented, bang,
Bam. Cover
by
zero.
Cover Zero Analytics. Let me tell you something. You think you're so smart.
So stinking
You
smart.
think you know everything there is to know about football. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. and or Mrs. You don't know what those nerds at Cover Zero Analytics know. They've got the inside scoop. They've got the goods on Texas high school football, the inside scoop, the numbers that even coaches don't know about their own teams.
If you're a coach and you're getting ready for the playoffs, Cover Zero could be that edge that you need to play another week and not play Nothing wrong with basketball, but we want to hold off on airing up basketballs as long as we can.
Think about this.
So
I think that this is a non-binding statement here.
Okay.
I want to be very clear.
Don't hold them accountable.
There
for
is an argument to be made that by subscribing to to Cover Zero Analytics, make your team more likely to be talked about on this show.
Oh,
Right? Because as the weeks go on, right?
listen. All due respect to our coaches who are 0-6 right now, but we're probably not talking about you on this podcast.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
But anyway, coverzeroanalytics.com. Go to coverzeroanalytics.com. Let them show you the cool numbers they've got. They got spreadsheets. That's a copy point. Spreadsheets.
They've got spreadsheets, VLOOKUPs.
It's crazy the VLOOKUPs they've got. Can you believe the VLOOKUPs?
Oh.
Unbelievable. Coverzeroanalytics.com. Matt Stepp, your Texas high school football fun fact of the week. We marveled last week at Alito's untouchable district winning streak, which now has stretched to, I think it's 131.
Or 133, depending on how you count the COVID forfeits. But
Oh, that's the difference?
Yes,
Sorry,
it's
131,
two COVID
133.
forfeits,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So somewhere between 100. It's a lot. Okay? It's a lot.
it's a bunch of games.
It's a bunch of games. But Matt Stepp, a game that we may talk about this week, and spoiler, I may draft it. I reserve the right to draft it.
Oh, okay.
The Woodville Eagles welcome in the Newton Eagles. Really, really big game in District 11 3A Division 2.
Correct.
Matt Stepp, I know you know this. You know Newton has the second all-time longest district winning streak.
Yes,
They have won, I believe it's 81 in a row.
it is.
81 district games in a row. Matt Stepp, who is the last team to beat Newton in a district game? And here's this will not help you at all, but here's a little fun fact.
Okay.
It's the only district game W.T. Johnston ever lost as the head coach. And
Wow.
think about that.
So I wonder how many games they had won in a row before they lost. I wonder how long their streak was before they lost that game.
Who could possibly know that?
I'm going to say, judging by how long this streak has gone for Newton, probably talking somewhere around 2013, 2014 is when they lost. I do recall Kirbyville being really good at that time. I'm going to go Kirbyville.
It's an excellent guess, but you know when I say it's an excellent guess,
means I'm wrong.
you're wrong.
Okay.
Matt Stepp, on September 30th, 2011,
Oh, wow. That's 2011. Okay.
the Newton Eagles came up short on the road, 39-34, to the Buccaneers of East Chambers.
Ah, okay.
Buccaneers of East Chambers knocked them off. That Newton team included, and here's some real let's remember some guys.
Okay.
Quarterback DJ Dean.
Okay.
Remember DJ Dean? Brandon Johnson was a sophomore running back. They had a they had Dion Seastrunk on the roster.
Some sea strunks across the state of Texas that have done some things.
This was a good team. That was right before they got really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Like 2 years later, they were like a juggernaut, essentially. But yes, they have now won 81 games in a row, district games in a row, stretching back to 2011. Last time they lost a district game.
Pretty impressive.
The only district loss for the late great W.T. Johnston. Anyway, and think about it, his son hasn't lost a game either.
No. The Johnstons don't lose many
The
district football
Johnstons have
games.
combined for one district loss. Pretty good. Anyway, there it is, your Texas high school fun fact of the week. Where do you want to start with week 6? It was we kind of tamped it down a little bit by saying, hey, a lot of open dates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I would say that a lot of the games that we identified as being in that creme brulee, that kind of upper crust level of games, lived up to the hype, certainly, as far as being from an entertainment value perspective.
Yeah. I think, from our perspective, the Summer Creek Atascocita game was tremendous on Friday night. you knew Atascocita was going to throw everything they had at Summer Creek to not go to 0-2 in district, and they were 6 seconds away from not doing it. And credit to Kenny Harrison's ball club, they found a way to win, and now shockingly Atascocita is 0-2 in district. So. And that was a huge win for I think it proved to us,
Yes.
proof of concept for Summer Creek for sure.
Totally agree. And now, by the way, there may be a game involving Summer
Possibly.
Creek that we may talk about later
Yeah.
today. And now, if you're Atascocita, you still have North Shore on the schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that game in 2 weeks against Kingwood.
Possibly straight up for a playoff.
Possibly
spot.
a playoff. And Kingwood's playing good ball right now.
Yeah, up until last week. Now they got North Shore. Maybe North Shore's getting their wheels back on because they put it on Kingwood 71-7. So, but up until that point, Kingwood had been playing great.
Yeah.
I think another game in the Houston area that really caught my attention was College Park and Willis.
That also feels like a real arrival moment for College Park.
Yeah.
We kind of been waiting.
I saw College Park week 3, and I walked away from that game really impressed, and I thought they did a great job slowing Bishop down, Jermaine Bishop down. Jermaine Bishop made plays, and he's that good, but it looked like they did enough, and I think the fourth quarter, Jermaine Bishop was just gassed. He was playing basically every snap.
Yeah, it's a. I think that I think where I'm at on Willis, because I've gone back and forth, is they obviously have a single individual star. I think that, first of all, the defense continues to be a little bit of a problem. That was an issue for them last year at times too, but
They're an offense first team. They are offense driven,
and I'm not sure they can build the entire plane out of Jermaine Bishop, especially when he's playing both ways, and especially when they're playing the caliber of opponents that they're going to be playing. That they played this past weekend, they're going to be playing the rest of the way.
It's just they're so reliant on that freshman quarterback, and it's hard when you have a freshman playing quarterback. You've got to find other ways, and so I think they're trying to get creative and getting the ball to Jermaine Bishop. But he's playing a lot on defense too. That's where it's like, man.
Let me ask you another question about Aledo 15, Denton Ryan 14. The district winning streak rolls on. I come away from that game obviously impressed by both defenses, and also thinking 5AD1 feels like it could be a real battle royale.
Yeah, I think Aledo and Denton Ryan's have state title defenses. I don't think they have state championship offenses, at least not right now. Maybe they get it together. I don't know, but I think there's been years where it was fait accompli. Aledo was going to win the state championship. We knew it. We all knew it. We, try to think, just maybe this happens. This happens. There's been years. This is an Aledo team that is flawed. They are not explosive offensively. They can be good, I think, but they're just not dynamic on offense. But their defense is that they have an elite defense, and they showed it Friday night in that win over Ryan.
I think
you're right.
I think you're right, and I think that that's the thing is that because I agree with basically everything that you said, and also I think Aledo is probably still the favorite to win 5AD1. Like
they're number one in the state.
They're number one in the state for a reason.
But
I just think that like we talk about the way that you judge 5AD1. We talked about it in the preview show months ago now. Is it an Aledo year or is it an Aledo or not an Aledo year? Right now, I think the answer is we don't know.
It's Aledo year is in play.
Aledo year is certainly in play.
It's in play, yeah.
But I don't think that we have seen situations. There are other teams, like for example, and I don't mean to bring the 6-man. It is a Gordon year. I will be absolutely stunned if Gordon doesn't win the 1A Division I state championship. We do not have that situation right now in 5AD1.
No.
I don't think it's that case.
I wouldn't be stunned if they got beat. I wouldn't be stunned if they won it.
Absolutely.
I think for Denton Ryan, you walk away, and I think you've got to figure out the running game. They just could not run the football. And I know Aledo's front seven is really good, but they haven't really been explosive in the running game all year. And I think you're putting a lot on Hennigan at quarterback. I think they got to figure out a way these last 4 regular season games to get Trayvon Reynolds going in the running game.
2 other games we talked about last week that I want to make sure we close the gap on or close the circle on. One of them, P&G Huntsville. I thought that was a culture win for P&G. They were punched in the mouth, and they were quite frankly, playing pretty poorly through the first half.
Huntsville for 24 minutes was the better football team.
Was the better team, and they were pretty clearly the better team.
This is Huntsville, though.
Yes.
This is Huntsville. It's they show glimpses of it, but they just don't put it together. And I don't know. I mean, Todd Mabus is in his first year. This is kind of a thing with Huntsville before, is that they would show flashes, and you would think maybe this is the year, and then something would happen. They just in PNG, I think culture win is a good way to put it. That's where PNG is at as a program, and I think it's where Huntsville is aspiring to get to, but they're not there yet.
The other one I wanted to make sure we touched on, Midland Greenwood beats Lubbock Liberty in a non-district game that we had all eyes on. Nothing. I'll say this: I don't think Liberty embarrassed themselves.
No, I think you could tell it was their first big game, though.
I think you could.
Yeah.
I thought they acquitted themselves okay, but I think Greenwood was just at home.
The turnovers.
Yeah, just
it's
a better
young
better
team.
team.
Yeah, I think Greenwood's a better senior heavy,
Yep.
more experienced. They've been in the big game atmosphere, and it showed. But I think this will help Lubbock Liberty
Yes,
going forward.
I
I think
think
this
so.
will be a great one. Other game, it's real quick Thursday night. How about Hardin?
How
That
about
was impressive.
Hardin?
That wing tee that they run, it's about the tightest wing tee offense I've ever seen. It's like a rugby scrum every play. But man, they are hard to stop. They've only punted. They're 6-0, and they've punted once in 6 games.
There are a handful of teams that are undefeated right now, and it happens every year. But there's a handful of teams, and it seems like a lot of them are small school teams that were just like, Ozona's in that same mix,
Yeah.
right?
Littlefield.
They're Littlefield, Tom Bean, a lot of these teams that you're just like, okay. And at this point, you're 6-0.
Yeah.
You're 5-0, 6-0. They ain't no accidents at 5-0 or 6-0.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It was they took East Chambers and popped them on the rear end pretty good. It was a pretty thorough win
Very impressive.
on the road.
Yeah. Okay, so there it is. There is a little look at Week 6. It's now time for our Week 7 game draft. If this is your first episode of Tep and Step, hello.
Welcome.
This is how it works. Step and I are going to go back and forth selecting games that we are most interested in. Say it with me.
Most interested in.
It's games that we are most interested in. It could be any game. There's more than, I can tell you right now, there are more than 650 games this week.
Okay.
And so this week, there's 651. And so, Matt Stepp, last week you could have chosen.
Merkel 49, Brownfield 14.
How about those Badgers?
Yeah.
The Badgers. And so this week, you could have picked.
Alney and Abilene TLC.
Oh, okay. You can't pick Olney.
You can't. Yeah, I might pick it.
Don't threaten him with a good time.
Yeah, come on.
Don't
Watch
threaten
out.
him with a good time. Any game that you're most interested in, you can select. We'll go back and forth 5 rounds, and we'll round it all out with our hipster game of the week, which I still have to decide on.
Oh, boy.
We had a fake coin flip before the show. Matt Stepp won the fake coin flip, and so he gets to pick 1-1 of the Week 7 game draft. Matt Stepp, where are you drafting?
It's an interesting week this week.
It is. We were having
Not a clear-cut number 1 game.
We were having a conversation before we came on the air in confidence. And I made the statement that I think this week, from like an upper crust games, there's more games.
Yes.
And you can make an argument it's deeper this week. But I don't know that you've got, like last week we had Aledo and Ryan. Aledo and Ryan, the biggest game in the state. I don't know you got that this
No,
week.
there's not a clear-cut number 1.
There's good ones, though.
Yeah.
A few good ones.
So I'm going to go 7 o'clock Friday night at Bobcat Stadium in Salina. A state-ranked top 10 matchup in 4A Division I as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats come calling to take on the Salina Bobcats. And Salina, 22-game winning streak. No notes. They handled Aubrey pretty easily last week, 48-10. But Tepper, the score was not that close. It was 41-0 at the half.
Yeah.
Salina got the machine online last week. Bo Bentley, 198 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, a touchdown rushing. LJ Taylor had 3 touchdown catches. They didn't really need to use the running game too much. They did run the ball well. The defense was probably their best performance of the year. Now, Aubrey's down. This is not the same Aubrey team that pushed Salina in the regional semifinals last year. They got some work to do, but Salina looked like the number 1 team in the state last week. And I think for the first time in a couple of weeks, because they kind of dilly-dallied their way past Gunner. They kind of did the same thing against Franklin, and then Panther Creek pushed them in the district opener. They looked the part last week. They looked elite. And now they're back home. They got a really good team coming to town in Sulphur Springs. It's a Sulphur Springs squad that I think in the trenches is one of the few 4As that can match up with Salina. The Sulphur Springs team is big. They're physical. Vincent Johnson, TCU commit on the offensive line. Truth Holmes, the UTEP commit on the defensive line. They've got anchors on both sides of the ball. Jackson Hare is a versatile weapon that can line up at multiple positions. He had a touchdown run, 2 touchdown catches. They put him at tailback. They put him in the slot. Deuce, I watched a good portion. So Sulphur Springs was off last week. Their last game was also against Aubrey 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They beat Aubrey 45-14. A little bit was not 41-0 at the half. Sulphur Springs, I think it was 24-7 at the half, and just you never
Kind
felt
of
like
leaned on them.
yeah, you never felt like Sulphur Springs was in danger. But I watched this is the first time I really sat down and watched Sulphur Springs, and Deuce Timmons at quarterback really impressed me throwing the football, and that was the question I had because Timmons was a running back last year, and didn't I think he was kind of played quarterback and mop up duty. But Timmons looked good throwing the football. He had 4 touchdown passes in that win over Aubrey. And he ran for a score. So Sulphur Springs has weapons. The same things I said about Sulphur Springs, I'm going to say. The same things I said about the Panther Creek game, I'm going to say about Sulphur Springs here. They've got to get pressure on Bo Bentley. You cannot let Bo Bentley have a clean pocket and just sit back there and pick you apart. He's too good. And Salina executes their offense at too high of a level. You can't cover those guys that long. Bo Bentley, and you got to make him uncomfortable. Get after him. Panther Creek did it a little bit. Let's see if Sulphur Springs can. That's going to be the key. And then I think for Sulphur Springs, I think on offense, I don't want Salina having the football a lot. I am leaning on them and trying to run the football, limit possessions, shorten the game, and see if you can. And Sulphur Springs has the personnel to do that. That's the formula I think for Sulphur Springs to beat Salina. Because they don't have Sulphur Springs doesn't have a Jalen Lott, a Donovan Webb out there. They're good at the skill spots, but they don't have those kind of guys. So I think what Sulphur Springs has to do is lean on Salina, which is weird to say because people don't usually do that. But I think Sulphur Springs has the people to do it. Because I just if I'm playing Salina, I don't want Bo Bentley with the football. As I want him with the ball as little as possible.
It's funny because what you're kind of advocating for is like try to out Salina, at least old school Salina.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And that's hard to do. And
Yes.
I think Sulphur Springs can keep this thing close and competitive, but I just feel like this is going to be the kind of game Salina wins like 38-24, but they've always kind of got Sulphur Springs at arm's length. I think Sulphur Springs is a very good team, and I think they're not to be trifled with, but I just don't think it's hard to out Salina.
I agree.
So-
One of 2 matchups of unbeatens in the UIL this week.
Yeah.
Just
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have eyes on the other one here in a moment, but
Oh.
it's a great game, and I think you're right. It's for Sulphur Springs another opportunity to be like to get over that hump and to go from like a good team to like a team that we're talking about
Sure.
in big capital letters. So good pick. I'm not gonna overthink it. 7:00 Friday night at Panther Stadium in Duncanville.
Oh, yes.
It's at least the most high-profile game of the week, as the Duncanville Panthers welcome in the DeSoto Eagles in a District 11 6A game. It is odd to talk about this game in these types of terms because this is a DeSoto Duncanville game that I think has lost some of its steam simply because of the way that how they enter the game. Well, let me rephrase. How the first parts of their seasons have gone.
Sure.
I would love to know the last time there was a Duncanville DeSoto game without an undefeated team in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probably
Certainly pre-2018.
it's got to predate Samples.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah, well, maybe like Samples' first year, maybe. But I can't remember if that DeSoto team had a loss or not.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's been a minute, but these two teams have a combined 3 losses on the year. And yet, I would say to you, Matt Stepp, there's an argument to be made that this is actually the most high-stakes game that they have played in quite some time.
Interesting. Okay.
Because when they've played in the past, and they've been really good, like last year, for example, both defending state champs playing each other. This was a game in which it matters, but it doesn't from a playoff perspective. DeSoto's going D2. Duncanville's going D1. We know that they're not getting touched in their district, likely, by anyone else. And so it's fun to have these two teams play, but ultimately you guys are going to be the number one seeds in your respective divisions. You're going to go each other your own way. Everything will be right in front of you if you lose this game. Now, certainly, there is no...
2015, by the way.
2015, last time they played a game where neither team was undefeated?
Correct.
I would submit to you that there are, A, actual playoff stakes for one of these teams in Duncanville.
Yes, I'll explain it in a minute.
And B, from a vibes perspective, I think this is the most high-stakes vibes game these two teams have played in quite some time.
Vibes.
Because Duncanville is 2-1, the ultra-rare 2-1 in
In
Week
October.
7.
Yeah, we're in Week 7. They're 2-1. It's weird.
And the last time we saw them was last week when they were drubbing Skyline. A lot better than Skyline.
They were a lot. Yeah, Skyline was overmatched.
Exactly.
Did you see the play that went viral from that game? A Skyline kid it was a kickoff return or a punt return that he fielded. He was running around trying to make something happen, and he just threw the ball out of the back of the end zone while being tackled. I don't know if he was trying to lateral it, and it was safety. Just threw it out of the back of the end zone. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Curious. That's the last time we saw him. But the time before that, they were losing to Waxahachie.
Correct, yeah.
And unable to really get enough oomph offensively. Now, have they righted the ship? Can they get Maximus Denson going? How well does the defense play? Going up against a DeSoto team that I think very famously we talked about on this show started the year 0-2.
Started the bad.
Yeah,
it looked bad.
It looked bad.
Yeah.
It did not look good. Well, they've definitely gotten the wheels back on.
Yes.
Because they beat up on two teams are better than Corpus Christi Miller and Mesquite. But then they go and they wax Waxahachie.
No pun intended.
And so here, if you're looking for the actual difference between let's say DeSoto 1.0 and DeSoto 2.0, I think it's as clear as this. Against North Crowley, they gave up 6.2 yards per carry, and against Waxahachie, they gave up 3.35.
Yeah.
That's your ball game. That North Crowley did not have to throw the ball. They were able to run the ball, and Waxahachie couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. That, I think, is the biggest difference. The other thing is, obviously, they have figured out that what if we just hand the ball off to Surratt Baker? What if we just play the...
Let's just make the whole plane out of
Make the whole
Surratt
plane
Baker.
out of Surratt Baker. He's a monster.
They're almost using him... He's a different type of player, but they're using him on defense some. He's playing wide receiver. He's playing quarterback. He's playing running back. Surratt Baker is among the best football players in the state of Texas. He is a football playing jack.
They're getting enough from Legend Hell, but they're not asking him to go out there and sling the ball 50 times a game.
Yeah, that's not their game.
That's not their game.
Just, even when vintage DeSoto, when they've had great quarterback play, they get in that up tempo and run inside zone, and they just run inside zone at you.
And
at a tempo, and it wears people down.
Now, I think that's a super interesting matchup here, is the Duncanville front, KJ Ford and company, up against this DeSoto running game, which has found new life behind Surratt Baker. That's a big matchup. The other thing is, this is a Duncanville offense that we think is still trying to find its sea legs.
Yeah, and I don't know if Denson's going to play quarterback. They've kind of been tinkering with Rivers at quarterback.
And a DeSoto defense that's feeling themselves.
I think Duncanville's got to find the running game. They have not run the ball super well against, they didn't run the ball at all against Waxahachie. I think they had 17 yards rushing for the entire game. Got to figure out the running game. Is Zach Turner going to play? Zach Turner's kind of their X factor on offense. They can use him at tight end. They can split him out. He's a matchup problem. That's something to watch. Duncanville's going to have a couple of key guys out on defense that are suspended for disciplinary issues. I'll just say they're high profile players, both of them. So that's interesting. The last time Duncanville had a high-profile guy suspended for this game, they lost to DeSoto. So that's going to be interesting as well. DeSoto's had Waxahachie's number, and they've proved it again this year. Other than 2023, Duncanville's had DeSoto's number. So that's what I'm interested in.
Especially
I think
in Duncanville, too.
I think the running game is key. Can Duncanville establish the running game and not get one-dimensional?
Can they establish it?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. Which is weird to say about Original Samples Ball Club, but they haven't been able to establish the run.
It's so weird to say. I think DeSoto's going to do it.
You call Blake Jones, establish the run guy.
The run guy.
Yeah, get him
I think DeSoto's going to do it.
Okay.
I think DeSoto's going to win. I think they've figured it out. I think that we're going to look back on those first 2 weeks and be like, boy, they just didn't know who they are, and now they know who they are.
Yeah.
And I think that you have an opportunity to then put them back and put those preseason expectations that you had back on there. And also for Duncanville, this is a massive game because
Yes.
from
Playoffs.
from a tiebreaker
Yes.
perspective,
They lose.
they are almost certainly the second seed
Yes.
in D1.
If they win, they're on the positive side of the tiebreaker and will probably, unless they drop a game they're not supposed to drop, be the number one seed.
Then the Waxahachie loss will kind of be forgiven
Correct.
from that perspective.
Yes.
So huge stakes, massive game per usual. Duncanville DeSoto is my first pick. What's your second pick, Matthew?
Greg Tepper.
Matt
I'll
Stepp.
go out 7:00 Mountain Time.
Oh, hell yeah,
Friday
brother.
night at Cougar Stadium in West El Paso.
Buddy, I'm so ready for this.
As the El Paso Eastwood Troopers, Julio Lopez brings his guys over to West El Paso to take on Ruben Torres' Franklin Cougars in a 1-6A showdown that might decide the district title. Now, Pebble Hills is going to have something to say about it. This might be the district championship game.
Matt Stepp, I'm ready to make a declaration, and I want to see if you'll hold my hand on this
Okay,
one.
all right.
I'm ready to declare the El Paso Franklin Cougars the Matt Tepp and Stepp cut the brakes team of the year.
Listen, they very well might be.
Woo-hoo.
They put up just a cozy 84 spot last week on Montwood.
By the way, okay, I mentioned this on TFT. The Montwood quarterback, Damian Briano,
Yeah,
I
he
think
had a
his
huge
name.
game.
He threw for like 400 yards and 6 touchdowns or something, and they lost by 35.
Yeah, because Ernie Powers just keeps
Ernie
doing the thing.
Effing Powers.
The dude is unbelievable. Why is it everyone we know with the last name Powers is awesome?
It's amazing.
It's Greg and
Best
Ernie.
thing ever.
You know, they're just awesome. Ernie Powers, 7 touchdowns last week. So El Paso Franklin is 5-1 on the season. Okay, 6 games. They have 4 regular season games left, plus at least 1 playoff game, most likely. Ernie Powers has 34 touchdown runs in 6 games. That's 2 shy of the city record. Aaron, remember Aaron Dumas from
Yeah,
El Paso
dude.
America? He had 36 rushing touchdowns. That's a city record. Ernie Powers may break it this week in week 7.
That's insane.
Just he's going to put so much distance between him and second place. It's not even funny. They've got a great offensive line. The Morales kid at Franklin, committed to Kansas State, leads a big offensive line. This Franklin team was fast. They've got great speed. They can throw it when they need to, but when Ernie Powers is rushing for 300 yards a game, why throw? Like, what's the point? In comes Eastwood, and Julio Lopez's ball club struggled last year, missed the playoffs for the first time in a while. They were beset with injuries last year. They had to play a bunch of young guys a year ago before they were ready. Well, now all those young guys got varsity experience. They are off to they're 5-0 in Texas. They went to California and lost to St. John Bosco, who's a national powerhouse. They were undefeated against Texas teams. They rolled past Eastlake last week 42-28, and Eastlake was a team that we thought would be in the mix for the district title. And Kingston Jeffries, he had 4 touchdown passes. He ran for a touchdown ran for a touchdown as well. Jude Walker, a versatile weapon there. Eastwood's got Julio Lopez is going to dial it up on offense. They are going to. This is if you want a pointsy football game in the Sun City, go eat at L&J Cafe before the game, and then go to this game. You're going to be full of great Mexican food, and you're going to be full of a lot of offense Friday night in El Paso. This is going to be an absolute shootout. I think the running game here is what I lean to. I think Franklin and that big offensive line and that running game is going to be the key. I don't think Franklin has any problems getting into a shootout with Eastwood, and I think the Franklin defense comes up with a stop late to get the win. But I think this is going to be a first 1 to 50 wins.
Yeah, this is a wild game.
Might be 60.
It's a wild game.
Yeah. Game of the, I think up to now. I mean, we thought Franklin and Del Valle was the game of the year in El Paso. That was early. This is the new game of the year because it's a district ball game.
This is certainly the most fun game of the year, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Ernie Powers agenda is
I think we may have to extend the invite to the Dudes Rock banquet.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's these are tough invites to come by, but
Yeah, I mean, you
got to do it. Great pick. El Paso Franklin, El Paso Eastwood, big game.
we're making Carter buy.
Matt Stepp, my second pick, 7:00 Friday night at Memorial Stadium in Victoria.
Oh.
It's a Matt Stepp special
Ah, yes.
as the 6-0 Victoria West Warriors welcome in the 5-1 Alamo Heights Mules in a huge district 13-5A Division II game, and a opportunity, I think, for one of these teams to really puff out their chest and say, if you want some, come get some.
I think I know which team we're talking about.
The Victoria West Warriors.
The team that my surprise champion in Region 4 582 preseason.
Let me tell you something. I'm very close to jumping on the Victoria West bandwagon with you,
Okay.
if there's room.
Of course, there's
see.
always room in the Victoria West bandwagon.
So these are two of the top 10 offenses in 582.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria West's offense has been spectacular. Nolan Boyce, their quarterback, is a lot of fun to watch. Dual threat guy. They got a running back named Genesis Jeffries. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a cool name.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Way better than Matt Stepp and Greg Tepper.
Very, very cool.
By the way, can I just veer off real
I do
quick?
like that name.
Of course.
Remember last week we were talking about we were talking about names. Lincoln Madrid, right?
Yeah, Lincoln Madrid. It's got two cities.
So did you know my white hat in my game Saturday night? Tony Barcelona. That oh my god. Dude, if your name is Tony Barcelona,
Excellent.
not only do you know how to party, but you are just the best official out there.
Spectacular.
So, shout out to Tony Barcelona.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tony
Sorry.
Barcelona.
Just veered off track there, but I had to get that in. I was thinking about
The
names.
Alamo Heights offense. Remember, this is an Alamo Heights team we had big questions about coming into the year because they're graduating Michael Terry, a transcendent talent off of the University of Texas, right? They've turned this into the DK Garza show.
They made the whole plane out of DK
And
Garza.
DK Garza rocks, man.
That's week 2 Matt Stepp. He got that Dog and Him Award winner.
He might be... Is he the best running back in San Antonio? That's saying something.
Oh, the Hatton kid.
The
at
Hatton
Steele.
kid.
Yeah,
Hatton kid. But, right now, DK Garza's in the mix.
Most productive?
Most productive is certainly in the
I
conversation.
mean, the game that I did, he ran for 6 touchdowns.
Spectacular. This is, in my opinion, a matchup of two defenses that might be where things kind of part. Alamo Heights' defense is kind of middle of the pack. They've kind of been touched up, but they are a opportunistic defense. They make big plays when it matters.
They will force turnovers on you. Yeah.
Victoria West has been mostly very good. Last week against Kerrville-Tivy,
A little concerning.
got a little 59-56 wild one.
The wheels got a little wobbly
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
What's interesting is that both these teams have some experience in close games. Alamo Heights is 2-0 in one-score games. Victoria West is 2-0. Alamo Heights is 1-1. They lost to Bernie in a close one.
Yeah.
I think this comes down to who is going to be able to hold their nerve and what figures to be a close game. I would love to see a really big crowd out there in Victoria. I think it'll be.
I think on Victoria West. Alamo Heights doesn't really travel that well out before the playoffs. You know, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
pretty good little trip.
But I think Victoria's side will be pretty full.
So that was one thing. I was a little concerned about West game against Tivy last week, but I'm also like, okay, Victoria all the way west of San Antonio, heck of a road trip, tough place to play. Okay. Now Alamo Heights has got to do the same thing.
Yes.
The opposite direction. So that's going to be interesting to see how they handle the road trip.
I think the defense and the offensive diversity for Victoria West wins the day. I think they win a close one. I like Victoria West in a close one. I'm here for the
Your
Warriors.
Victoria West pill.
I'm approaching that.
All right.
that. Matt Stepp, what's your third pick?
Can't believe it's still on the board. 7:00 Friday night in Munster.
This is going to be my other pick.
It's the Kraut Bowl, y'all.
The what?
The
bowl?
Kraut Bowl.
Kraut?
Like sauerkraut. The Kraut Bowl.
Oh, okay.
For those of you who don't know, Lindsay and Munster are very German communities.
German Catholic communities up
yes.
there.
Yeah. Yes.
North
Catholics
Texas.
on top.
Catholics back on top, right?
Catholics back on
You know,
top.
Munster has a Catholic high school.
Yeah, Sacred Heart. They used to be really good at football, too.
Yeah.
For a hot minute, they were like Munster was like the football capital of like small.
Munster's a cool town. Like there's some German like it's a cool. Like there's some
It's
beautiful
also my
Catholic
favorite
churches.
cheese.
It's a. If you ever just want to take a day trip somewhere, Munster's a cool place to go.
The other thing about this rivalry, this is the 58th installment of the Kraut Bowl. This is there are rivalries we'll talk about that are like blood feuds, like P&G Nederlands in a couple weeks, and those two places do not like each other. That's
that divides houses.
Hellacious, right? This is a very friendly rivalry. Like these two communities, they're basically like one community, and like
they're like 9 miles apart from each other on just there. For those who don't know, so Gainesville, they're west of Gainesville on Highway 82. Lindsay's like right outside of Gainesville. So
they're all very polite with each other.
Yeah, and there's a lot of relatives, and I think you'll have a households with the mom went to Lindsay, the dad went to Munster, that kind of thing. So a lot of relatives, again, very German heavy communities. So it's a friendly rivalry, but they want to beat each other. Yes. There's some bragging rights here. And I'll tell you what, Lindsay has kind of been overshadowed by Munster for quite a while. Lindsay's not the football power that Munster is. Well, Lindsay this year, they're looking like a wagon.
They might
have the juice. Yeah, 5-0. Listen to this. They have a convincing win over Pilot Point. 3A Division I Pilot Point, who just beat top 10 Palmer last week. They are slinging it around. Head coach Casey Jones has an offensive juggernaut. They are putting the ball up, doing some damage.
Lane Foster, their quarterback, has been a revelation for them.
Their resume is really good. Like that Pilot Point win after last week looks so good right now. They've been off. Now both teams are coming off a bye. Dublin made the mistake of scheduling Lindsay for homecoming 2 weeks ago, and that did not go well for Dublin. No. Lindsay walked away with a 7. Can you imagine having your homecoming and getting beat 70-7? That's tough. That's a tough scene. Then you got Munster, defending state champs, and you're looking at Munster like, they're 3-2. Well, their 2 losses are to Pottsboro,
who is on the they're on the outskirts of a 3A D1 ranking.
Yes,
they're
and
top 20, but not top.
And
10.
Holiday, who has been in a Division II 3A top 10 team for a good portion of the year.
Basically. And those are, by the way, like close, competitive.
Yes,
we're kind of throwing into the end zone in the fourth quarter type losses.
2 weeks ago, their last Munster against 2A teams has been dominant, and they got a big win over Windthorst earlier in the year. They took care of De Leon 47-16 last week. And De Leon's a good team. Yeah. It's a good team.
It's a team that I think could win Region 2.
Munster rolled up 588 yards of offense. Case and Carney throws for 204 touchdowns and 204 yards, not 204 touchdowns. 204 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had 145 yards and a touchdown rushing. Garrett Hess had 4 touchdown catches, all from Carney. The Munster offense was cooking with Crisco last week, or 2 weeks ago, in that win. Lindsay's resume is really strong, though. And if you're looking, if you're going to play this if you're a Lindsay fan, you're like, how can I talk myself into we're going to win this game and pull the upset? We beat Pilot Point by 3 touchdowns. Munster lost to Pottsboro. I honestly, I think if Pilot Point and Pottsboro play, which they will play because they're in the same district, I would pick Pilot Point to win that game. Now that game doesn't always work. Football is a game of matchups, but if you're a Lindsay fan, that's what you're saying, that this is our path to victory. We can beat these guys. I ain't picking against Munster. Lindsay, I do think Lindsay keeps this close. And this is going to sound crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if this is the first of 2 meetings.
I'm not.
Could you imagine a Kraut Bowl regional final? Oh,
be dope.
I don't know where the hell they'd play that game, because maybe just a field halfway between Lindsay and Munster.
I might just play it in like Gainesville, honestly.
I don't know if Gainesville would be big enough.
That's a good point.
They may have to go to C.H. Collins and play that game.
Here's the one thing about this.
Or Wichita Falls or something.
I think this is a real test for the Munster defense, which if you go back to, if you want to look at the path for Lindsay, the Munster defense, when it's played high-powered offenses, like in their 2 losses,
they can be had. Yeah.
But I will say Munster has owned this series. They've won 9 of the last 10. Hard to pick against that kind of success, especially at home in Munster. I like the Horn. I ain't picking against the Champs.
I'll say this: if you're looking for, I don't know if you can get tickets, but if you're in the North Texas area and you can get your hands on a ticket, this would be the game to go.
If you just want just a fun experience, it's going to be a good game. like nice people. You'll eat good.
Bet there'll be some good food.
Good
some
food.
Brats on the grill.
Yeah, 2 coaches we really like too. It's like you'll enjoy yourself up
Yeah.
there. That's a fun game. Lindsay and Munster. My third pick, Matthew, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Longhorn Stadium in George West.
Oh, George West.
Matt Stepp, I mentioned there were 2 matchups of unbeatens in the UIL,
You
right?
did.
Let's find the other one.
All right.
It's the 6-0 George West Longhorns and the is it 5-0? No, I'm sorry, the 5-0 George West Longhorns and the 6-0 Odom Owls in a critical District 16 3A Division II contest. And I made a joke on Twitter about this, about how like real sickos are diving in deep on George West and Odom. Mm-hmm. It kind of wasn't a joke. I kind of think this game
kind of rules.
Buddy.
Okay.
So first of all, let me tell you this. 2 of the top 3 scoring offenses in 382.
Okay.
Okay. I believe George West Odom is 1. No, George West is 1 and Odom is 3.
Okay.
Okay. If you like running game, you will love this game. Odom can do a little bit of everything, but they make their hay on the running game. John Hinojosa, Martin Castillo, almost 9 yards a carry. Okay, they're really good. Matt Stepp, would you care to remember what kind of offense George West runs?
I believe they are now running the what is, how do you say it? Slot T.
It is the slot T.
And what is that, VNA?
The devil.
The slot T is a devil.
Pow, pow, pow.
And they're really good at it. They're averaging 11 yards a carry as a team. Cohen Blunt
Seems good.
And William Ballou leading the way for this team. I think this game is going to be pointsy. I think this game is going to be fun. I lean to George West at home. I also think they have a little bit of the advantage on the defensive side with guys like Dylan Thomasay. And I just think that like the slot T sucks to play against. And in a game where the like styles make fights, right? Both these teams are going to run the ball pretty well. But I think because George West runs that weirdo offense, I say that lovingly. I hope you guys know that. It's just harder to game plan for. And I think George West gets a slight advantage in this one. I love this game. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it. George West and Odom is one of my favorite games of the weekend. I'm really excited about it.
I think it's going to be a great game. You know what? One of my favorite pizza places is in Odom. Up Dog Pizza.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah, they had the pizza named after the quarterback, Michael Everett, I think.
Yeah. He was
pizza named after him.
He was like
Up dog?
Yeah, Up Dog Pizza. Yeah, in Odom. It's crazy, I know, but it's really good pizza.
Yeah, Michael Everett. He set like state records or something.
Yeah.
Like throwing the ball. And now they're just like running the dang ball. Fantastic game. Get to George West, Texas, if you have the means. I don't know how you'd stumble upon George West, Texas, but like
it's kind of on like 59 there, like if you're going towards Corpus Christi from San Antonio.
Yeah, if you're just on the road and you find George West, you should stop and go to the game.
You know, George West alum is our friend from one of the Corpus Christi TV stations, Larissa Liska.
She's a George West alum?
She is a George West
I did
alum.
not know that. Well, they're cooking right now, 5-0. All right, what's your fourth pick?
7 o'clock Friday night at Maverick Stadium in Marshall, Texas. We're going to go deep East Texas, Harrison County, baby.
It's a big game.
The 7-5A Division II title is on the line as the Texas High Tigers visit the Marshall Mavericks. 5-1 versus 4-1. Texas High has not had their bye yet. Marshall had their bye 2 weeks ago, so I think this is the district championship game. And for Texas High, that loss to Midlothian Heritage was a little puzzling a couple of weeks ago, but they bounced back. They beat Fayetteville, Arkansas, an Arkansas powerhouse, and they've opened district play with back-to-back dominant wins. They absolutely obliterated White House last week, 64-21, and it really wasn't that close. It was 51-0 in the third quarter before Jerry Stanford, I think, called off the Dogs a little bit there. Tredarian Ball, the Oregon commit, touchdown receiving, 2 rushing touchdowns. Cam Reitner continues to play well at quarterback. They've gotten some guys back from injury. I know Shavonte Montgomery, one of their better receivers, has been out. He's back. All good things for Texas High. The biggest thing is their defense is starting to play better. Their defense struggled early in the year. I feel like they're getting their wheels back on here. Okay. Marshall, on the other hand, did defeat Mount Pleasant last week, but it was one of the weirdest games in the state last week. So Marshall defeats Mount Pleasant 7-3. I bet Joe Cluley is just.
I saw that come across because
think
I think we had that.
We had it on the show
one of our
Friday
score
night. Yeah.
graphics for
That was a final.
Zone. And I was like, oh man, the intern screwed up in putting that on the score graphic.
Well, nobody updated the score. It's still the second quarter.
Yeah,
no.
exactly. No.
Joe Cluley, he's got to be just like, what do I got to do here to catch a break? He scheduled, first off, his non-district schedule. He scheduled 4 teams that were a combined 20-0. Who's the guy who did that? And they lost by 1 point in a couple of games. They've been tough luck. So against Marshall, Mount Pleasant gets stopped on the 2-yard line twice. They kick a field goal, turn it over on downs. Their defense pitches a shutout. Marshall's only points of the night came on a fumble return. So
oh my gosh.
Marshall didn't score an offensive point in the entire game, yet they defeated Mount Pleasant 7-3. I've got concerns about Marshall's offense because it's Alton Henderson or bust. And they are so reliant on Alton Henderson, the quarterback, to just do everything for them. The problem is they don't throw it a lot. They don't throw it very well, so they're really depending on their QB run game to do anything. Marshall's got to find some other weapons. They've got to either get the passing game going or find someone else to help Henderson out. This Marshall defense is really, really good. Mm-hmm. One of their best defensive players transferred to Melissa in the offseason. They're one of their linebackers who led the team in tackles last year. Yet the defense has picked up. I think they're better than they were last year. But unless they get the offense fixed, I think it's going to limit just how far they can go in the playoffs. Marshall went to Texas High last year and gave them fits. They nearly upset Texas High. They got stopped on a 2-point conversion at the end of the game last year. I don't know if they can keep up with Texas High this year, though. I think this Texas High defense is a little bit better. And I don't think the Marshall offense is quite as good. I think they're just so reliant on Henderson. I think Texas High goes into Marshall and wins. I don't think they're not going to blow Marshall out. I don't think that's going to happen. But I foresee a 35-28 type game, and then Texas High scores late to make it a 2-score game. So give me Texas High to take the 7-5A Division II title on the road in Marshall, but I'm going to keep an eye on this one.
I think Marshall's going to win.
Really?
I think that defense is legit. And if they can just find a little bit of offense, I think they can win this game. I think that defense
The defense is legit. Yeah.
And it's going to hold them in it. That, I think, is the biggest question. Is can they find the offense? But I like Marshall in a close one. My fourth pick, Matthew. 7 o'clock Friday night. We teased it earlier. At Eagle Stadium in Woodville. It is an Eagle v. Eagle matchup in District 12-3A Division II in a state-ranked matchup as the Woodville Eagles welcome in the Newton Eagles in
it's an Eagle fight.
Huge District 12-3A Division II matchup. Probably for the district title. I'm trying to think of anybody else that would be in that mix.
Is Kuntz undefeated? I think Kuntz is still 2. I think Kuntz is 2.
Who could possibly know that? Let's find out together, guys. District 12-3A Division II. You're listening to live coverage of seeing if Kuntz is undefeated. Kuntz is not. They've lost a game. Mind. But these are the only 2-0 teams in district play. And both these teams, I think it's interesting, have kind of followed a similar path. Mm-hmm. They lost in their opener, right? I believe Newton lost to West Orange Stark, and Woodville lost to Orangefield?
Orangefield, yes.
Orangefield.
Correct, yeah.
But then they've won 5 straight. And they've gotten right. And also, I think both of these teams, we had questions of where are you getting your energy?
Oh, a great man once said that.
A great man once said.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your energy? Woodville graduated real heavy after a surprise run to a state championship game last year. Mm-hmm. And we wondered, okay, well, they're graduating a lot of their play. They're going to fall back to the pack.
New coach.
Yeah. Brother, I'm here to tell you that Luke Babin, holy cow, dude.
It's a flamethrower.
Their quarterback, he has thrown 24 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
That's a 24-0 touchdown to interception ratio.
That's
Seems
the kind
good.
of number you would get on CoverZeroAnalytics.com.
That's way too basic. Cover Zero is going to have He's thrown,
his efficiency rating.
Yeah, he's 17 of his touchdowns were 20 yards or more. Something crazy.
That's what you get from cover -1 analytics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Babin, Vanderbilt commit, so he's also very smart.
And he can run it. He's awesome. Newton has their new star too. Kendra Porter Jr. is the new hotness.
Yeah, he's awesome
in Newton, America. And
you ever been to Newton?
No.
Neither have I. I'd like to go.
They got a stud running back, but then they've also Deldrick Samuel. They've got 2 guys back. He's
Deldrick Samuel had a good year. He's at 9 touchdown runs.
Really good player. So there's a lot of, for a 382 game, a lot of star power.
Yeah, there's some talent. Yeah.
A lot of talent. I am going to pick Newton for a couple of reasons. One, I think their defense is probably a little bit more. Well, I think it's more cohesive right now.
A little more experience.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. 2, we mentioned I am picking against the streak. They've won 81 consecutive district games.
Mm-hmm.
Second all time. Longest all time. And 3rd, this is their 71st meeting. Newton has won 25 of the last 26 meetings between Newton and Woodville, dating back. They've won every matchup since 1994. Okay, so
Vina, were you born in 1994?
I know for a fact she wasn't.
I'm a 2000 baby.
1994 was the last time. I'm sorry, 93 was the last time Woodville beat Newton.
Okay.
I am picking against that kind of
I
history.
was in 7th grade.
Now I think that Luke Babin can do it. He's that dog, but I do think that Newton is your favorite.
One thing to watch: Newton's got a freshman quarterback, very talented. He's going to be really, really good, but he's a freshman. So if you're Woodville, you don't want Kendra Porter beating.
No, you sell out to stop the run.
You say, okay, we're going to lose. We're going to let the freshman beat us, and maybe he will.
Maybe he will.
That's what I would do.
I think you're right. This is a fun game. Woodville and Newton is my 4th pick. What's your 5th and final pick, Matthew?
I know what stadium this game. I believe this is a Thursday night game at Turner Stadium in Humble.
This is a big one. If I know where you're going.
Live on Texan Live. It is a Thursday night. As the CE King Panthers visit Turner Stadium to take on the Summer Creek Bulldogs. A share of first place in 23-6A is on the line. Playoff seeding is on the line potentially. And I think we're going to find out this week, is CE King a good team that we think can maybe play Thanksgiving weekend, or is CE King a state contender this week? They have the last 2 weeks, it's been great for CE King. 70 points in both games, district ball games. They destroyed Goose Creek Memorial 70-20 last week. And Goose Creek Memorial much improved, but they were overmatched. And Deion Sims is among the most electrifying players in the state of Texas.
Man, he's been unbelievable.
That CE King offense is so freaking fast. They
made Atascocita look like they were standing still.
Which is crazy. It's crazy to say that, but yes, they are so fast. And it feels like CE King in district play just hit a different gear. And John Snelson warned us in week 2. He said, man, these guys are, he was really worried about them. They almost beat Dickinson. I think we're seeing now how good Dickinson is, but also I think we're seeing how good CE King is. You got Summer Creek. And last week you're like, well, CE King handled Atascocita pretty easily 2 weeks ago. Summer Creek struggled with Atascocita. Yeah, but that's a rivalry game. And I think Atascocita was desperate last week. This was their Super Bowl last week. They threw everything they had at Summer Creek, yet Summer Creek, some late heroics, finds a way to pull out a win, 38-35. Braylon Causey. Summer Creek goes on a 90-yard drive with less than 2 minutes left to win that football game. Big-time stuff from their offense. Braylon Causey's touchdown run with 6 seconds left was the difference. And I think it was Noah Spinks's coming out party as the quarterback at Summer Creek. The Flower Mound transfer, I think, has firmly established himself as the leader of this football team. He led Summer Creek in that game-winning drive. He had a huge night. Benny Easter, the wide receiver.
Oh, my God, dude.
He had over 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. And he's not the only guy at Summer Creek. Summer Creek's got 3 or 4 receivers that can make plays. They are as explosive as anyone in the state of Texas. The defense, I think, has some work to do, but Kenny Harrison's ball clubs always seem to find a way to put out a good defense. And so I feel like they're going to improve. There's a theme developing in a lot of these big games this week, high scoring. And I think this is going to be another high scoring game. Both these offenses are lethal. At home, I trust Summer Creek just a little bit more. I think if Sea King loses by a touchdown, I'm not gonna feel bad about Sea King. I feel like they're gonna be just fine. I'm gonna go with Summer Creek. I don't feel great about it, but I'm gonna go with Summer Creek, the proven commodity here. In a close one, I'm gonna say 48-41.
I'm gonna go with Sea King.
Okay.
We're on opposite ends of this.
All right.
I think that speed is so crazy.
They're
It's
so
so
If you watch them
crazy.
play, it's like you're watching the game on 2x speed.
It is unreal, and I think it's going to be really hard for anybody to match up with them. And yeah, I think Sea King can do it, and I think I'm ready to be in on them. I had to be convinced, but I have been convinced. I'm in on Sea King.
Okay.
My fifth and final pick, Matthew, 7:00 Friday night, off of one of the all-time greatest roads in American history. Whatever the number of that bypass around Austin is. We're going to Hutto, Matt Stepp.
Oh, Pickle Parkway.
Pickle Parkway.
Yeah.
Is
I love that.
It's 130.
130?
Yeah, Pickle Parkway.
One of the great roads of all time.
Where you can go. What's the speed
I
limit?
think it's 80 or 85.
Is it 80 or 85?
It rocks. As the Hutto Hippos welcome in the Round Rock Dragons.
Great mascot matchup here.
Great mascot matchup. It's the biggest game of Eli Reinhardt's young head coaching career. And it gives us an opportunity, an entree, to talk about what has suddenly become the most wheels-off district in at least 6A and arguably in Texas high school.
This feels like a recurring theme, though. 25-6A tends to... I was texting with Eli Reinhardt about this earlier today, and I was like, y'all's district's got to get better tiebreakers. It was like 2 years ago when we had like a four-way tie. Potentially we were going to have a coin flip for a playoff spot because their freaking max point total is too low. Craziness.
So everything was kind of going according to plan, and everything was kind of going according to chalk. Some surprises here and there. Hutto's really playing well right now. Hey, how about Round Rock? They started off slow, but now they're 3-3. This Ridge has been great. And then last week, McNeil beats Vandergrift 17-14, and you're just like,
Just
what?
shoot the wheels off the entire thing.
In the words of the kids, what the helly? It's a ludicrous
Do
result.
kids really say that, VNA?
It's a ludicrous
They
result.
do.
Okay.
McNeil over
You're so
Vandergrift.
cool. I didn't know kids said that. You're so cool.
Thank you. Thank you for knowing that. Yeah. It's a ludicrous result, and it turns 25-6A entirely upside down. And here are two teams in Round Rock and in Hutto that have an opportunity to emerge from the chaos and be like, nah, don't worry about it.
We're above the fray.
There is a front runner, and it's us.
Yeah.
Now, I've been really impressed with Round Rock. Very, very impressed with what they've been able to do so far offensively. I like the way that especially last week against Manor, they looked fantastic. They are playing good ball. I think that right now you can make a real argument that they have one of the more dangerous offenses in the district. But so can Hutto, because Hutto, after some kind of early wobbles, right?
Yeah, the San Marcos game, the season opener, was a little disappointing,
But last week against Round Rock Westwood, again, some wobbles, but Caden Stefik, their quarterback, has really grown into the role. They got a couple of big-time playmakers in Dylan Owens and Keelan Chaves. This is a offense that feels like it's blooming right now. It feels like Reinhardt has kind of gotten his claws into him, and he's like really starting to give him that magic. I think this is a coin flip type game. I think the computer has this as a 4-point game, Hutto by 4.
Okay.
I think it's a one-score game. And I think Hutto finds a way. They have tended to find a way. And I think that especially at home, they're my pick.
look at Round Rock's 3-3 record and think this. They started out 0-3, and I think they had 2 losses by like a total of 8 points. So they got handled in the season opener. I remember. I think they got beat pretty handily in the season opener, but they lost 2 games by 1 and 7 points. They've won 3 in a row. They figured it out.
Yeah.
This is a really good Round Rock team, sneaky good. I agree. I like Hutto, but I think it's gonna be. I picked Hutto by a point. I think this is a coin flip.
I think this is ultimately comes down to Brady Cochran, the running back for Round Rock. If they can, they're a lot better when they're not asking their quarterback. I think they've got a junior Dove Stickler or stuff like that who's been good, but they are better whenever they are able to run the ball and have that balance. I think there's a big game for Brady Cochran, the running back, and can Round Rock establish the run? Can they establish it? Can they be established the run guy?
There you go.
That's the real question. So that is my 5th and final pick. And so that rounds out the draft. Stepp took Sulphur Springs, Salina, El Paso, Franklin, El Paso, Eastwood, Munster, Lindsay, Marshall, Texas High, and C. King, Summer Creek. I took DeSoto, Duncanville, Alamo Heights, Victoria West, George West, and Odom, Newton and Woodville, and Round Rock and Hutto.
Good cross section of the state.
Good cross section of the state. El Paso to East Texas.
Little Corpus Christi.
Little Corpus Christi. It's a nice little week. It's now time for our hipster game of the week. A game that's a little bit off the beaten path that you want to be paying attention to. Matt Stepp, what is your hipster game of the week?
I'm going to go to Ellis County, specifically Frost, home of the polar bears.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Have you heard the good news about the Frost polar bears?
Are they getting the Tep and Step bump on a delayed? Like, is it the kind of, like, you take the pill and it's a delayed release?
Yeah, it's a delayed release, a full year and a month release. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Because the Frost polar bears are rolling, y'all. They are 5-0. I think for the first time in a long time.
I can't with y'all.
They're taking on the Goldthwait Eagles, who are 3-2, 1-1 in district. I think this is a huge game in 10-2A Division II.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at 10-2A Division II, you got Bremond, and you got Chilton. Top 10 teams in the state, big-time teams. And then you got Mart. I think Mart still, even though they're down this year, I think they're still probably going to be, in the playoff mix. I think Goldthwait and Frost are fighting for one of those last playoff spots here. I think Goldthwait is the favorite. Frost has not gotten it done in this kind of district in a long time. Philip Gibson's done an incredible job with that program, though. I think Goldthwait's the favorite, but I'm watching this one. I want to see if Frost is competitive, then I think they still have a shot. So I'm watching this game closely. I think this has got playoff implications. Is Frost for real? Goldthwait is a really good 3-2 ball club. Andy Howard's done a great job getting that program rebuilt. Frost and Goldthwait. That's the game I'm watching. That's my hipster game. 2A Division II action.
It's a good pick. My hipster game of the week, Math Step. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Burger Stadium in Austin.
Ah, yes.
Now, this is hipstery. It's also the Polar Bears, the Austin Achieve Polar Bears.
It is a polar bear hipster. Wow, the 2 schools in the state who are named the Polar Bears.
Take on the Austin East Side Panthers. I am taking this as an opportunity. I'm probably a week early on this, but I want to make sure we don't miss this opportunity. Do you know what's going on at Austin East Side?
They're having a great year. They beat Austin Travis a couple weeks ago. They're in the playoff mix.
It is not long ago that Austin East Side had the longest losing streak in Texas.
I remember, yeah.
At the beginning of last year, they had the longest losing streak in Texas. There was a year, I remember a couple of years ago, maybe like 2022, where there was a real question as to whether or not they were going to score a point.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when I say that, like, we talk a lot about Duncanville and Katy and Lake Travis and these big powers that every year you talk about. And then there's like the opposite of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin Eastside has an argument to be made of like the most challenging program in the state.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a program that the school closed down. Like they were Johnston, and then they ended up becoming like
rebranding.
Well,
rebranding, yeah.
To Eastside. They're playing the Polar Bears this week. They're 4-2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a close one to Mayor New Tech last week. They are 4-2. Matt Stepp, they have not won 5 games in a season as Austin Eastside or Austin Johnston since 1991. Okay?
Wow.
Think about South Lake Carroll's going to roll out of bed every year and win 12 games. They haven't won 5 games since 1991.
What was the record in 1991?
8-2-1. That is also the last time they made the playoffs.
Yeah, and you know what happened in the playoffs with them? They, in the first round of the playoffs, played Colleen High, and it was a 14-14 tie, and they lost on penetrations. And you know what Colleen High did that year?
They won state?
They won state. That's how far the Austin Johnston East Side program. They tied the state champs in the playoffs that year. In the state's largest classification. It was 5A.
Luis Becerra, I mean this, if he gets them into the playoffs, I think he's the coach of the year.
It's a worthy discussion.
It is. What he's done there is unbelievable. I think they're going to beat Austin Achieve. And so
I
it is
agree.
my hipster game of the week is a shout out to Austin Eastside and what's going on there. It is crazy what's going on there.
You know what Austin Achieve's home stadium is called?
Well, they're the Polar Bears. I really hope it's the Igloo.
The Tundra.
All right, boy.
Tundra.
I might be rooting for Austin Achieve. I'm kidding. It's a great story, Austin Eastside. But that's a big game at Burger Stadium. They can get their 5th win for the first time since 91.
That's crazy.
Insane. Anyway, let's find out what VNA wrote down, then we'll find out where you're going. VNA, what'd you write down?
Look at my hair. Oh, it's everywhere. I wrote down Ernie Powers' agenda.
Oh, yeah.
Is there room on the Victoria West bus?
Yeah, the bandwagon.
Cover -1 analytics.
That's what we are.
Yeah,
cover -1. You want to go with cover 0, guys. Cover0analytics.com.
You want the real thing, not the cheap knockoff.
Yeah.
And Frost equals delayed release. So
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Well, the Frost Polar Bears.
Yeah.
It's the bump delayed.
Hamilton got the immediate bump.
It's like, so you and I in a couple weeks, week 10, we're going to Lindsay and Santo.
Yes.
Which turned into a really good game, by the
Yeah.
way. And so now Santo in 2 years is going to run off to state. We're going to be like, because us.
Yeah, we're going to take credit for that too. We're going to
We
take
will
all the credit.
absolutely take credit for it.
Yes.
Matt Stepp, where are you going this week?
Thursday night, I'll be in Waco. Brian Rudder and Waco University. They're at Waco ISD Stadium. District opener for both teams. Both teams have playoff hopes. Friday night, I will be in Eagle Mountain.
Yeah.
Which is in Fort Worth, Eagle Mountain High School. Brock and Eagle Mountain. State-ranked Brock, 5-0. Taking on very surprising Eagle Mountain at 4-1. The year 2 bump, Tepper.
Suddenly a big game.
Yes, suddenly a huge game. Could be for the district championship. So excited about that. No Saturday game for me this week because I am flying to Canada for Thanksgiving.
That's right.
It is Canadian Thanksgiving on Monday. So
Oh my goodness.
yes.
Wow.
I will get to experience Thanksgiving. And as we eat the same stuff.
I was about to say, what do you? Can you remind the audience?
Pretty much the same as America. I mean, the food's pretty similar. My wife makes a turkey. My wife makes a turkey and all those. They'll throw in my in-laws are South African descent, so we'll throw in like some, South African style dishes, that kind of thing. So it's good stuff.
Well, safe travels. You will be remote. We will have Tep and Stepp, but you will be from frozen.
We will
tundra.
get Tiny VNA.
Tiny VNA
next
returns
Monday. We'll do it remotely. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
And I'll be back next week on, I think, Wednesday night for more Texas high school football.
For a little more high school football.
Yeah.
But that's enough high school football for today. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. VNA, thanks for listening to us. And Stepp, thanks for your courage.
Thank you.
We will talk to you next week on Tep and Stepp.
Bye.